To take this video to bits, I'm going to use ffmpeg, which is a command line application. If you hunt around, you can find a Windows installer. Usually it comes as a 7-zip file that you unpack and install yourself, but these nice people have made a Windows installer, which is just an unpacker. So if we go and find it, good chance if you've downloaded that, it's in your downloads folder. Only one word of advice here: don't put it in program files. You've got to be able to find the thing again. Put it in its own folder under C, so when you're finished with it, if you don't want it anymore, you can delete it easily. We'll finish that and look at setting up everything as a project. So I'm in my local drive C here, and I'm going to make a new folder for a project. Just going to call it project. And into that project folder I need one, maybe two of the ffmpeg files. I'd certainly need ffmpeg in there, and it's probably worth having ffplay in there as well. So there's our two files. Now I need a video file in there, and unfortunately we've got to go and start using command window. In run, just put in cmd for command. Now I'm going to cd ... a couple of times to get me back to C, and then I'm going to cd to my project folder there. If I do a directory listing, dir, I just get three files there: ffmpeg, ffplay, and the AV file. Now if I do ffplay test AV, you can see the source video that we're using. I got this off YouTube and cut a bit out of it. I'm going to use this strange command line here, ffmpeg-i test AV, and this is just for a few parameters. There's the length. Bitrate we don't care about. Tells me that it's an MJPEG video. Gives me the size, and most important, it gives me the frame rate, which is, this case, it's NTSC 29.97. Call it 30 in real money. Now then, clearing everything off and just looking back at our three files there. Another strange command line. I'm going to do ffmpeg -y is just for confirmation. -r 30. Remember, that's the 29.97 frame rate. Use whatever turned up for your video. It might have been 25, it might have been less. There's the name of the file I want the frames from, test.av. Another -r and 8, because I want to reduce the number of files, and I want an output. I'm going to call the pictures, the image, a percent, and then 003D. That gives me three numbers after image for each file, and a PNG. PNG is as good as anything. Could be JPEG, but stick with PNG. Now if I do a listing there, you can now see we've got 68 images to edit. And in Gimp, editing them is going to be a chore. There's my face. If it's the same size and you can get away with it, copy it and use it as a brush. Unlikely you'll be able to do this. You're probably going to have to resize it over a number of images. And the only way I know of doing this is copy and paste and scale. Move it around. There's it scaled. Now it's a floating selection. We've got to anchor it with that little icon there. That's it anchored. On to the next one, just as another example. Same thing again. There it is. There's number 2. Paste it in. Resize it. Move it. This is why I don't do animations. Anchor it. And when you've finished all 68 of the frames, we can go into Gimp and open as layers. Choose the first one, hold the Shift key down, go to the next one, open. Eventually it gets there. And you could, of course, start off with this and open each frame and edit each frame as you go along. Up to you which way you do it. Now, if I go and save it, I'm going to give it a new name. I'm going to call it something imaginative like new.gif. Save that up and we get this as a dialog. I want to save it as an animation. Export it. It's on loop forever. I'll put it 1 frame per layer. You can, I think these are defaults anyway. You can tick these, save it. So that saves as a GIF file. Close Gimp down. See what it would look like as a GIF rather than a video file, an animation. So there it is there, our new .gif file, and we can play this in Windows Explorer, I think, Internet Explorer rather, not Windows Explorer. And that's what it looks like as a GIF file.